Yo guys, what's up? This is my very first tutorial on YouTube. I hope you all are having a great day. Today I'm gonna show you guys how to make a loop for Lil Tjay. And I'm not even gonna talk too much, man. Let's get into it. So yeah, that's what the loop sounds like. When I start making a loop, I always start with the piano, of course. And I use the piano from Keyscape, just the grand piano. And when I EQ it in here, I always put the D noise on strong. And I put this one and this one, the pedal noise down to make it more smooth. I actually learned that from APW. So yeah, the piano sounds like this. So for the effects, you hear a little bit of delay. Like I put the delay on it here. I put the fruity parametric to cut the lows. A little dynamic EQ for the harsh frequency, which was in the low mids. And the soothe to cut the harsh frequencies. And a Valhalla vintage verb. I put it on 14%. Delay, decay on 2.2 seconds. Because without the effects it sounds like this. It's not that much of a difference, but with the effects it just sounds more natural, more spacious. And yeah, you just want that. So when I did the piano, I added a pad, which is from Contact, from Contact, which sounds like this. And this is a pad, I don't know where it's from, I can't tell you guys, but I always use this, almost always use it. Because it just fills up the loop, you don't really hear it, but it just fills up the loop. So yeah, that's really great to use always. And the arcade, without the effects, it sounds like this. With the effects, I put a Pro Q on it to cut the lows and the highs. Put a little bit of delay on it and a lot of reverb to really put it back in the mix. So I put the mix on 50%, decay on 4 seconds. Cut the lows of the reverb, and then it sounds like this. Oh yeah, I'm gonna show you which bank I use from the arcade. So this is Distant Voices, is the Somewhere in Between bank. Yeah, it's really good. Distant Voices, I use it often when I just make very ambient loops, you know. So yeah, then I added a string from Contact. It's the Balkan Ethnic Orchestra. Macedonian key main is the preset. It sounds really natural. This bank is really high quality. I really recommend it. But a lot of people use it already, so. But this is what it sounds like. Just very simple, but it just adds that feel to it, you know. So then I added a Reese bass. I used NA2 for that. And the only thing I did to it was cutting the highs, because without the EQ it sounds like this. It just gives it that dark vibe, you know, what you want in this type of loops. So yeah, this is just following the root notes of the piano melody, very simple. And then the last thing I added was another contact. Was this one again? It's from Cloud Supply. It's the Grito preset. And yeah, this is also just like the notes of the piano as well. I'm gonna show you real quick. This is also not something you really hear, but it just makes the loop more full. It makes it sound more professional. Like it doesn't sound empty when you add these kind of things, you know. But I put a lot of reverb on it as well. I guess it's this one. I put effect rack on it, crystallizer, echo boy. Put down the knob till 11%. Then I got another EQ to cut the lows, a fruity delay, and a lot of reverb again to put it back in the mix to make it sound big, you know. And yeah, that's actually it. I put my riser, my favorite riser. So I want to show you guys actually how to put drums on this as well. So I'm gonna do that real quick. So for the drums, I added a clap. It's from the Tri-Freeze kit. Then I added a hi-hat to this. And one thing I always do for the hi-hats, or not always, but most of the time, I put a EQ on it. A delay for the bounce. This really helps you getting the right bounce. Put the level very low, but it just adds that extra bit of flavor. And a little bit of reverb to make it sound less dry. Then I added the 808. With the kick. And I put the kick velocity all the way up. Then with this open hi-hat. And for the kick and the 808, I sidechain the kick to the 808, very simple. I just select the channel of the kick, then I do right click on this one, and then yeah, I already did that, so I do sidechain to this track. And then on the 808 I get the limiter, I put this one on the rack kick, and then I look at the waves. I put the threshold on like beneath half of the size of the waves. And I put the ratio up to like 10:8:1, and then the release I put it down a little bit, so that the kick and the 808 don't clash with each other, because without it sounds less good. You know, so it's a very big difference. It really makes your beat hit hard, and it makes your beat hit hard the right way, you know. So then we got the snare. add a little perk, and then we got, I don't know what this is, another perk. I also always use a lot of open hi-hats reversed, just for the extra bounce. It sounds like this. So yeah, and then all together you get this. So for the mixing of the drums, yeah, I already showed you the sidechain. For the kick, I do something really weird. You guys are gonna hate me for this maybe, but it works, so I don't really care. I put it on mono, and I put the 808 also on mono. Then I put this EQ on it. I put this EQ on it, and it works every time. Then for the snare, only reverb. For this perk, I use an EQ to cut the lows. If you don't have lows, you obviously don't have to cut them. If there are lows below like 100 hertz, then just cut them, because it's gonna make your mix sound a little bit muddy if it's gonna clash with the 808s or your melodies. And yeah, that's really it actually. So yeah, if you like this video, if you learned something, then drop a comment, drop a follow. Also let me know what videos you would like to see as well, because I can make videos of that if I want to. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.